Okay, is this testing? Is this testing it? Is this thing on? Or I'm Randy Christensen, and I have had quite a journey thus far. Not done yet, not done yet. But so far, it's amazing what God has done in my life, through my life, and I've been places I never imagined, but I've been able to do ministry across the United States, in Canada, in Spain, in England, in Bangladesh, in Malaysia, in Singapore, in Ecuador, and maybe some other places. And it's an amazing thing that God has allowed me to do this, working with all kinds of wonderful people in places I never imagined I'd be able to go. But I'm a children's specialist. That's what I do. I work with kids full time. I'm thrilled to be able to do that. I do some parenting stuff too, because really I want to help the kids. And I think one of the best ways to help kids is by helping their parents know how to help their kids also. So it all began back in 1980. I went to North Central University, and I went in there training to become a pastor. I was a pastoral major. But when I arrived at the college, I expected to be able to room with two friends that I knew there, but when I got there and I walked into Carlson Hall, I was met by the Dean of Men, and he informed me that I would be in a different room. Not just with my friends, but on a different floor, on a different wing. And so I went up to 5th floor, 5 West, and I met my 2 new roommates. I was in a triple. One of them was a senior. He was supposed to have his own single room, but he got stuck with 2 freshmen. So, well, long story short, he had just come back from a summer of traveling with a volunteer group of students that did summer kids camps and children's crusades and VBS programs and mostly church programs. And he did puppetry and magic and storytelling, and he was also a clown. And so he said, "Hey, Randy, you need to come be a clown with me." And I said, "You know what, there's no way I'm gonna be caught dead with makeup on my face, okay? I mean, I was an athlete, I was a musician, and I wanted people to take me seriously. I was going to be a real pastor." And I thought, okay, come on, if I put on clown makeup and goofy clothes, people are gonna laugh at me. Which honestly is kind of the idea, you know, when you do clown stuff, you kind of want people to laugh at you. But I didn't want people to laugh at me. I wanted them to take me seriously. Well, my roommate did teach me how to juggle. And I picked it up real fast. And he said, "Randy, come on, you need to come and do clowning with me." And I just kept putting him off. Well, he kept nagging me. And finally, he said, "Randy, if you go with me one time, I'll never ask you again." And I thought, hold it. Now, do you promise? He said, "What?" I said, "Do you promise if I go with you one time, you'll never ask me again?" And he said, "Okay, I promise." And I said, "Well, I'll think about it." And about 3 weeks later, I decided to go with him for that one time. I found myself here for the very first time at what was then called St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. I was brought down here by my friends, and I had no idea what I was doing, but since I knew how to juggle, I thought maybe I'd just do that. I didn't know. I walked in, and a nurse escorted us to different rooms, and we started splitting up, and just from room to room, I'd stop and knock on a door and say, "Hey, I'm a clown. Do you want me to visit you?" And every single room that I came by, children would look towards me, and I'd see some life come back into their eyes, and they'd begin to smile, because you see these kids, they are in a place where they have no control, and they miss everything from home, and I was able to bring a little cheer into their room. So This was my first spot that I ever did any clowning, St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. I remember before we left, though, the nurse came along and said, hey, I'll take a couple of you into the intensive care unit. And my friend Dave said to me, Randy, you go. And I said, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. He said, no, you'll be fine. So this nurse took us to the intensive care unit, and there were two of us that walked in there. When we pushed open the door, I saw right in front of me on a padded table a 18-month-old girl. She had tubes running in and out of her. She was on dialysis, and her mom was standing next to her, and the nurse was right next to her also. And I said, hi, I'm a clown. You want to see me juggle? I didn't know what else to do. Honestly, juggling is not a great thing to do in an intensive care unit. But I didn't know what else to do, so I took my balls, I started juggling them, and I saw she had this little stuffed animal, so I took it and I began to juggle it with my things. And she would watch it go back and forth and back and forth. And I'd say, we love you, we care about you, God bless you, you get well now. And I took that stuffed animal and I gave it back to her. And when I turned to walk out the door, I heard the mom say, look. And I turned back and the little girl was going like this. And the mom said, she's trying to blow kisses to you. Oh, okay, well, I love you too. God bless you, you get well now. And I turned to walk out the door. And I stepped in the hallway and lost it. I said, dear God, I didn't expect this. I began to pray, and the first thing I prayed was this. I said, dear God, first of all, please forgive me. Forgive me for my ego. Forgive me for my pride that would stop me from stepping into the world of hurting kids. And the second thing I prayed was this. God, if you really want me to do this, you're going to have to change my heart because I don't even like kids. I didn't. I didn't know what to do in the world of a child. I had no idea, and I kind of had a feeling like all kids were brats. You know, and now that I've worked with kids all these years, I kind of realize, you know, there are some kids that have behavior issues, but now usually it makes me more angry at the parents than it does at the kids. Because I realize, hey, parent, why haven't you helped your kid learn how to deal with life? God cares for these kids, and it's what's kept me going year after year after year as I see the hurt and the need in a child's life. What would Jesus do? Jesus would stop and take those kids up on his lap, and he'd put his hands on them and he'd bless them. That's what he'd do. It all started right here, St. Joseph's Children's Hospital.